Are you worried how technology is influencing your children? Is it getting expensive to keep buying the newest versions of iPhones and game systems? Are you concerned that your children are spending too much time indoors playing games silently rather than getting exercise and socializing with other children? Well, today myself and two colleagues are here to discuss how exactly technology is influencing your children in regards to their physical health, mental health, and social skills. Much more importantly than the problem is the fundamental theme of a solution. Nature is unfortunately being forgotten more and more. Instead of playing in the forest, children are playing in virtual reality worlds of video games. Instead of playing kick the can with other children, iPhones and texting is replacing interaction. But the simple yet powerful ecosystem service of recreation may just be the way to get children a bit healthier and a bit happier. Ecosystem service is defined as benefits that people obtain from the ecosystem. Nature provides 4 fundamental ecosystem services. Provisioning services, such as timber production, water, and fuel. Supporting services, such as soil formation, nutrient recycling, and habitat provisioning. Cultural, such as recreation, which is the primary theme for this segment. And the last primary service nature provides is regulating, such as water filtration and water decomposition. With technology, children today face obstacles previous generations did not. In an age of computers and cell phones comes a new world for information exploring, but also a version of bullying. Cyberbullying is a prevailing issue in today's society. Cyberbullying allows for individuals to pose harsh criticisms while being anonymous. Not having to be face-to-face to the one the bully is harassing makes it easier to say things most would not in person. To add to the domino effect, if a child is so consumed with technology and doesn't have regular social interactions to balance out the potential negative online interactions, the cyberbullying effect can be heightened. Making sure children take a break from technology and get outdoors to interact with other children will open the opportunity to healthier relationships. The social skills acquired at a young age is important for lifelong interactions and relationships. Being comfortable with peers will lead to confidence in interacting with individuals of many generations. Learning to deal with conflict face-to-face is crucial for lasting relationships. Yelling through a headphone at a Halo teammate that is potentially hundreds of miles away will not translate to healthy conflict resolution in person. Figuring out who will take the lead in a hiking exploration or how to change a floaty while swimming in a lake allows children to learn healthy conflict resolution with peers. Another key skill children will learn while playing in nature with other children rather than being indoors playing video games is conversation initiation. Being comfortable starting conversations will help with friendship building and even academic interactions if a child feels comfortable asking a question from a teacher. Humans often speak without talking through language and other nonverbal cues. Learning to read and understand nonverbal cues is a skill only acquired in person with practice. Having these social skills is fundamental. So when leadership positions arise in sports teams, school organizations, and eventually work-related opportunities, children with strong social confidence and skill will excel. Teaching children to value others rather than technology is crucial for their social health, but also their psychological and physical health. Getting back to nature allows children to appreciate what they have rather than constantly desire materialistic goods. As will be further discussed, being outside can help children be in the fresh air, gain exercise, stimulating the imagination, and keep kids growing and developing their social skills. Getting stuck in a virtual fake world is not healthy, but the ecosystem service of recreation can allow children to get back to the roots of being a child, to play in the dirt, climb trees, chase birds, and even scrape a knee here and there. Technology has a lot of great benefits and will always be a part of our lives from here on out. But ensuring there is a balance between technology and nature is key for sustainable happiness. Now over to Kaylee to talk about physical health with recreation.
Thank you, Katie. There are so many physical benefits to recreation as well. This includes a reduction in obesity. The incidence of obesity in the United States has been increasing steadily over the past 2 decades. Between 1991 and 2001, obesity rates increased 75% among adults. 34% of American adults are overweight and 27%, or 45 million people, are obese. Today, only 25% of adults in the United States report engaging in recommended physical activity levels. 29% report no regular physical activity during leisure time, and only 27% of high school students engage in moderate physical activity. Only 50% of young people ages 12 to 21 regularly participate in vigorous physical activity, and 25% report no vigorous physical activity at all. The fitness of young children has declined, and childhood obesity has increased. Today, 8 million children are overweight. Obesity rates have doubled for children ages 6 to 11 and tripled for adolescents ages 12 to 19. In California, for example, the growth of obesity has almost doubled in 20 years, going from 10 to almost 20%, shown on the following graph. Because the major causes of death for people in developed nations have shifted from disaster and disease to decay, individual behaviors play an increasingly bigger role in both longevity and quality of life. Among the behaviors that have changed is physical activity. Americans are less physically active today than in the past. Although the causes of obesity are multiple and not completely understood, insufficient physical activity is surely one factor. With physical activity and recreation, we can decrease these numbers and strive for a healthier tomorrow. Physical activity also decreases the risk of many serious diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. Recreation activities such as running, walking, bicycling, and swimming are excellent for elevating the heart rate and lowering the incidence of heart disease, obesity, and other major diseases if done regularly. Physical activity even decreases the risk of cancer. Recently, a study found that women who did not spend any time being physically active had over 2 times the risk of breast cancer than those who exercised 4 hours or more per week. Exercise and fitness can and also increase longevity and reduce many causes of death. Every time someone walks a mile, they add 21 minutes to their life, saving society 34 cents in medical and related costs. On average, every hour you spend exercising increases your life expectancy by 2 hours. Outdoor activity is another great form of physical activity, both for children and adults. When people use parks and playgrounds, they are usually outdoors. 3 studies of preschool children used direct observation and reported that being outdoors was the strongest connection of children's physical activity. It is highly likely that the same is true for other age groups. It is not surprising, therefore, that research has shown that the number and area of parks and playgrounds in a community are positively related to physical activity levels. Numerous studies document this connection. For example, a study of 500 older adults from 50 neighborhoods in Portland, Oregon, found that both the number of recreation facilities and the amount of green or open space were significantly related to higher levels of walking. Another study of recreational supply in West Virginia found that total county acres managed by public agencies and local county acres devoted to water-based recreation were positively related to county-wide physical activity. Counties with more public land and recreational water acreage also had a lower proportion of the population reporting insufficient physical activity. A similar study in Oregon found that recreational trail densities were positively related with the proportion of adults who were physically active. Park and recreation services provide many opportunities for physical activity for people of all ages and backgrounds. These opportunities are so diverse as walking as on a trail or a golf course lined with trees, swimming in a pool, attending an exercise class designed for seniors, climbing on playground equipment, or playing an outdoor game of basketball. There are many opportunities for the whole family. Now over to Ye-Chan, who is visiting a lab to discuss the mental health benefits of recreation.
Thank you, Kaylee. I'm here at a research lab where development experts are looking at the link between physical activity and mental health in children. The average American child spends 4 to 7 minutes a day in unstructured outdoor play while spending more than 7 hours in front of a screen, whether that be a TV, computer, or gaming device. Children are losing playtime to homework, sports practices, and after-school lessons. A study in 2003 showed that kids' discretionary time has decreased 16% over a 6-year period, and when they are free, they are spending time indoors. At the same time, schools have to cut back on recess time to boost test scores. When looking at the mental health implications of looking at a screen all day with limited outdoor activity, the results can be frightening. Parents are apparently aware of the risks, A recent nationwide survey found that parents ranked obesity as their primary concern about their children's health, ahead of drug abuse, smoking, bullying, and internet safety. Due to the unstructured nature of playing outside, there are a lot more options and infinite ways to interact with the environment. This kind of play promotes creativity and imagination. Kids can think more freely, design their own activities, and have the freedom to interact with nature in whatever ways they can imagine. Being outdoors also allows children to use more of their senses to see, hear, smell, touch, and interact with their surroundings. Psychologists have studied the role of nature in children's mental health since the 1980s. The concept of biophilia was developed by Harvard biologist Edward Wilson, who argued that humans have an innate affinity to natural environments. Nancy Wells, an environmental psychologist from Cornell University, found that children who moved to areas with more green spaces improved their cognitive function when compared to those with less green spaces. A study of 337 school-aged children in upstate New York also found that the presence of nature nearby bolsters a child's resistance to stress and adversity. More recess time and greener playgrounds also enable children to learn more effectively and improves a child's ability to concentrate in the classroom. By spending less time outdoors, these benefits are not taken advantage of and the impacts can be seen. In the past 20 years, the use of antidepressants has risen sharply in pediatric patients, making the U.S. the largest consumer of ADHD medication around the world. About 4.5 million U.S. school children have been diagnosed with ADHD, an increase of 3% each since 1997. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, antidepressant use has increased 49% among U.S. school-aged children, according to a study of 2 million use between 1998 and 2002. The largest increase was among preschoolers. A survey by the American Psychological Association found a third of school-aged children, ages 8 to 17, reported increasing levels of stress. While these numbers may seem disheartening, there is hope. University of Illinois researchers found exposure to natural settings significantly reduced ADHD symptoms such as inattention and impulsivity in children. Children's stress levels also fall within minutes of seeing green spaces. Andrea Taylor and Francis Kuo investigated the impacts of 3 different outdoor environments on the attention of 7 to 12-year-old children diagnosed with ADHD. After completing a series of puzzles that required focused attention, each child over the course of 3 different weeks participated in a 20-minute guided walk in 3 different outdoor settings: an urban park, a downtown area, and a residential area. After each guided walk, children completed a concentration test and answered several questions about their walking experience. They found that children concentrated better after walking in a park setting as compared to either a downtown or a residential setting, and the effect of walking in a park helped on concentration and closed the gap between children with ADHD and those without. Therefore, even with children with mental disorders such as ADHD and depression, exposure to green spaces and physical activity can help alleviate some of the symptoms associated with it. As Dr. Wendy Katahu, a family physician and an associate professor at the University of California, San Francisco, said, "I will far write a prescription for a safe outdoor play for my patients than see them in 5 years later with depression, anxiety, and obesity. It is never too late to have your children spend time outdoors and have them experience all the associated benefits." This is Ye Chanlin reporting. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kaylee and Yi-Chan. Today we have looked at the ecosystem service of recreation that provides many benefits to developing children. Through watching from this broadcast, we hope that you will encourage your children and yourself to go outside and enjoy all that nature has to offer. This is Katie signing off. Thank you for watching World News.